Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Monday, July 6th practitioners call, hosted by Doug Cundiff himself, the new superstar that in Holy Nation held a panel of six superstars. And he
Very good.
actually looked pretty good. You looked snack and sweet. So it was a great call. And we're going to have these calls like we have these calls every week. And every week, Doug tries to bring on different practitioners, holistic, what kind of, anything that's in the health field. If you're a practitioner, holistic, massage therapist, I don't care what you are, but if you have something that you can add to Holy Life and to our community, please reach out to me or Doug so we can have different people on the calls every week. All right. We're also getting ready to do a big super call. By the way, Doug, like you did at the event in Holy Nation, we're going to have a super call with six, seven different people on the call. I'll let you know lately soon there. So
Fantastic.
yeah, we'll have it like you did in Holy Nation, but on a Zoom call. So if you have some people that you think that would be good on our call, please reach out to me and Doug, and we'll schedule for the next weeks. So with that all taken, it looks like today Doug has invited John Shavola, who's another rising star among us with so much value. He just brings value every day. And today I think he has a beautiful subject. But for that, I'm going to give it back to Doug. I'm going to let you introduce John and what he wants to talk about.
Yeah, fantastic, Luigi. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thrilled to be here again. We did take a break last Monday, so back on track this week or Tuesday morning for several of you as well. We will get on to our guest speaker, John. John and I had a chance, along with his lovely bride, Dr. Misty, to have a lunch together in addition to sharing time at the Anaheim event last week. Uh, One of the things that I learned in sitting down with John is that he reminded me that there are a number of resources available to all of us, and he shared with me a video that we have access to. So, if you recall, the purpose of these calls has historically been, can we interview and learn from different practitioners of all sorts that how they integrate and utilize the technology, the frequency power technology into their setting. We also would like to share strategies and techniques to collaborate with those same practitioners so that we can build our downline, our businesses with them, and help as many people as we can. And so John and I were having that discussion. He shared and reminded me of a video that's available, and I'm going to share my screen here. So let's see, share here. All right, so let me go here. I get rid of some of these tabs here. All right, so let's see here. I gotta get rid of this bar here. Bear with me one moment. I know I'm sharing here. I'm just trying to get rid of the bar because it's blocking my access to my tabs here. There we go. All right, let's see here. We have, okay. So what I've done is I've added a video that John shared with me. So if we go to our connection center and under you have the resource library and all the fantastic resources that are available to us. We have the online marketing where we can access Launchpad and Vision Control. But then under business building strategies, if you click here, you'll see a few different strategies. And one of those strategies is practitioner engagement. So when you click here, you're going to see that we added this practitioner partnership program. So I'm going to give this a try. I have it pulled up here. I'm going to play it. If we don't have audio, I'll stop it. So, John, if you don't hear the audio after a moment or two, would you? It's a 4-minute video. But what I want to do is share this video because as we do our outreach to practitioners and we're looking for ways to engage them or to follow up with them on what's possible with this on the economic side, this video it will pique their interest. It will start to do some math for them, and then it'll allow you to have a conversation around maybe what's possible for their setting. So let's push play here and see what we got.
Wellness practice today comes with
Audio.
real challenges. Overhead keep climbing. Your staff is already stretched thin, and you're constantly looking for ways to deliver profound, noticeable relief to your patients without adding more complexity or burning everyone out. What if there was one wellness device that could deliver deep cellular support in just 20 minutes per session, helping your clients feel better fast, rebook more consistently, and create a new high-margin revenue stream of $25,000 to $40,000 per month for your practice? That's exactly what the OliLife PEMF Partner Program makes possible. It works by delivering gentle pulse support aligned with the body's natural rhythms. For decades, this technology remained largely limited to expensive clinics. In 2022, a dedicated initiative set out to make it more accessible. Working with a respected global wellness powerhouse, the technology was further refined through advanced R&D with scientists in Sweden and Germany, under corporate leadership in Singapore. In August 2024, OliLife was granted utility model patent, protecting the core circuitry behind its precise PEMF delivery system. For practitioners, the question is not whether PEMF exists. The question is whether it can be delivered in a way that is practical, compliant, and easy to integrate into everyday practice. That is where OliLife stands apart. The OliLife movement and its partners have already created over $2 billion in global wellness impact. Because when people start feeling more relaxed, sleeping deeper, and waking up with natural energy, the results drive organic practice growth. This is not just another device. This is a proven clinical solution. For practitioners looking for safe, simple tools to support patients between visits, OliLife fits perfectly. No complicated protocols, no ongoing costs, no risk. Just gentle pulses you can feel working with your body's own natural rhythms. This is the OliLife Partner Program, a professional partnership designed for clinics, wellness providers, fitness facilities, and aesthetic businesses to create a new high-margin revenue stream driven by real results your clients can feel in just 20 minutes. Whether you're a chiropractor, medical or wellness practitioner, massage therapist or acupuncturist, gym owner or performance coach, med spa, esthetician or salon owner, this integrates seamlessly into your current business model. There are three ways your business generates revenue. First, 20-minute paid sessions. Clients pay $30 to $100 per session, with most businesses averaging around $75. Just 6 sessions per day equals around $10,000 per month. Second, device sales. You offer the device to your clients at full retail, earning your profit plus a performance bonus on every unit. And here's what makes this different. Third, every device is factory coded to your business. When your client refers someone who makes a purchase, you automatically earn a 10% commission on that machine sale. The referral tracking is fully automated with seamless front desk workflow. Why does this work? Because clients feel it. More energy, better sleep, faster recovery. In just 20 minutes, they naturally share it. This isn't a traditional sales model. It's a structured business reward system designed to turn your existing clients into a consistent, scalable revenue stream. When you combine session income, device sales, and automated referral revenue, many businesses are generating $25,000 to $40,000 per month in new income, all from something your clients experience in just 20 minutes. Get back to the person who sent you this video. They'll walk you through your exact numbers, simple, clear, and tailored to your business. Recharge your body in just 20 minutes. Running a busy wellness practice today
How about
comes
that,
with
right?
real
I'll
challenges.
stop that there.
Overhead keeps climbing. Your staff is already stretched thin.
So I saw a few hearts going up there during the video, but how about that, right? We have access to a video where, oftentimes we're talking about a financial opportunity. It does the math for you, right? And now it also allows for you to take their example and tailor the possibilities to that particular setting, right? Patient volume. Are they going to charge per visit or not? Is it going to be complimentary? There's 3 different ways they talked about, 3 different ways that we're all familiar with. Now you can decide what's the best fit for that practitioner that you're sitting with. So, John, thank you for sharing that. And we're going to get you going here. John and I, as I mentioned, we had a chance to have lunch together with a large group. We went down to over to Huntington Beach from Anaheim, and we were sitting together, speaking with Dr. Misty, John and I, and we had others at the table. Tommy was sitting next to me. And we started talking about topics for this particular call, right? This is practitioner engagement, different strategies to work together, to collaborate. And as everyone is aware, every time we have John on any particular call, and there's some wisdom shared about our products that we should all know more about, he still extracts nuggets that were aha moments for us or things that we can leverage in our communications. And so as we got speaking, we said, well, he has a number of ideas that we can speak about. Do we have a separate call? Do we incorporate it into this call? We're going to figure all that out. But this is the first Monday of July. We're going to start with the products during this call, and we'll see if maybe this turns into the first Monday of every month. To be determined. But right now, I would love to turn it over to you, John. And when we talked a little bit, we're going to talk a little bit about structured water, I believe. And Luigi, if you can pin or highlight John, that would be great. I'll see if I can do that as well. Not sure if I can.
Thank you, Doug. Can you hear me?
We gotcha. Yes.
Okay, great. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm going to slow down a little bit. In past calls, I get so excited about these ideas, and I talk fast, and I watch the recording, and I'm thinking, God, I don't even know what he's saying, and I said it, and so I'm going to try to slow down a little bit. I am from New York, so I like to do things quickly. But this particular topic, structured water, is probably going to speed up my speed because it is very, very exciting. This is not something that you don't want to pay attention to because it's very powerful for yourself, your health, your family, your pets, your plants, your neighbors, everybody, and even practitioners. When I was watching that video again, I remembered that years past, I had many practitioners that were clients of mine that had wands, terahertz wands, and whatever, and they loved wanding water and sending the water home with the client. Okay, sending home with that client a bottle of terahertz energized water, structured, and that water typically can last about 48 hours to 7 days, as long as you don't put it in a microwave or even storing in a plastic is not ideal because that can disrupt the structuring. But I just remembered that, and it was a value added to a lot of the practitioners to have them drink the water while they were there, while they were experiencing whatever modality they were working with, and then sending them home with a bottle of this energized water. Okay, so what are we talking about? Why is this so cool? Why is this so exciting? Why is John frothing at the mouth to tell you about this? Okay. Structured water. I have some notes because it's a lot of information. I've spent all day reorganizing, and so I could cover this within the hour. Structured water has been also known as vortex, activated, energized water, ordered water, linear water, hexagonal water, quantum water, coherent water, magnetized water, superhydration water, functional water, frequency water, terahertz water, and living water. Okay. And when we come away from this call, we're going to call this vitality water. The new word. Okay. And I'm going to explain why that is. No one in the world offers this kind of water until now. And I'm coming from a background of decades. My wife and I have been involved with these modalities, energy healing, quantum consciousness raising, all kinds of wonderful modalities. But for the last 4.5 years, my wife and I have drunk. I have to be careful how I say that. My wife is always correcting my English. Drinking, drunk, whatever. Okay.
Consumed.
Consumed. Good. Thanks, Doug. I'm going to call on you when my wife corrects me in the future. We have consumed terahertz water every day, okay, for 4.5 years. And so I have consumed a lot of this type of water. And I also witnessed thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people consuming this water and having marvelous experiences with it, just drinking the water. Okay. So what is the structuring that's going on? And does Olilife believe in structured water? So let me start with that, because some of you might think, well, John's excited about this, but does Olilife believe in structured water? Well, let me tell you. Okay. First of all, we have a website, a marvelous website that Luigi has put together called The Frequency Awakening. And in there's a page that talks about 2 breakthrough technologies, 1 harmonized system, talks about PEMF, terahertz, and then hydration and structured water. It's in the website, okay? And it says, enhances conductivity and absorption in your body, makes the most of every session, okay? But there's nowhere that explains structured water. It says it there. Now, Olilife has a product. It's not available in the US. It's available in the Oli Mall in China. Eventually, we'll have access to these Oli Mall type of products. But this one product is called an MRET, molecular quantum resonator water dispenser. Okay, that makes it's a jug, and it has this thing on the top that creates structured water. Okay. Now, what's even cooler though about this is that they actually have a device, and I for the last year I've been trying to find out if we can get this in the US. It's a little device that you press one button and it shows that the water is produced, and the device is producing terahertz. Okay, and you press the other button. Yeah, right. But there's a device that verifies that it has created structured water and terahertz and all that stuff. And it goes on to explain that this is a groundbreaking device that harnesses molecular low frequency resonance to activate various types of edible liquids. Now, let me tell you what you can use this on. It's not just water, okay? And we're talking about being able to structure your water with your wand. So I don't want you to think I'm getting you all excited and you have to wait to get this product from China. No, this will structure your water primarily from the terahertz. Okay, that's how it does it. But this is also unique because this is the world's first dual frequency wellness device with PEMF and terahertz. Now, the PEMF is interesting, and I'll talk about that, how that affects the water. And when you find out about that, you're going to get on the phone or the back office and order one right now, and several of them. Okay, so what can you do with this? You can restructure water, juice, shakes, smoothies, coffee, tea, adult beverages, soup. And this can be for people, for pets. Pets love this structured energized water. Plants, they love this water. I've seen demonstrations of before and after plants. Okay, and now, just as an aside, you can wand live food. Your wand will energize live food. I've tested this, and here's something nobody knows. Okay, if you have natural fiber clothing, it'll hold energy, frequency, vibrational information for a while, maybe as much as 24 hours. Okay, the highest vibration frequency clothing is linen, and then wool, hemp, cotton, silk. So if you're wanding yourself using your wand, okay, I would highly recommend that you wear natural clothing, natural fiber clothing. You can wand through synthetic polyester and so forth, but if you have a natural fiber clothing, it'll actually retain energy. So while you're walking around in your cotton shirt, you're still energizing your body from that shirt. Okay. I think that is particularly cool, but that's me. So now let's talk about the structured water again. There are devices on the market, even on Amazon, that you can buy. That's all they do is structure the water. And these devices cost anywhere from $200 to $1,000 on Amazon. Okay. That's all they do is structure the water. Here we have this $600 device that's fantastic at structuring water. This is one of the first things I did when I ordered my wand, is I couldn't wait to get it and test it to see if it would energize my water. And I crossed my fingers and my legs and my arms and everything and said, oh, this better energize the water off. I'm in big trouble here. And I tested it. I tested the water, used my wand on it just for about a minute, and boom, it energized the water, just like it used to do for all my wands for the last 4.5 years from another company called Prife. Okay. So I know for a fact that this will energize the water, but it does it more than just the terahertz. Because water acts as an organic storage device for consciousness, intent, and frequency information. Now, I'm going to talk about what is structured water, how you do it, why you do it. I'm also going to talk about spritzing. Women, you don't get off this call until you hear me talk about spritzing, how you use this for anti-aging and so forth. And then we'll talk about how to inform and imprint water. Okay, that's the last part. So what's interesting about this when you're doing your water, okay, the terahertz is interesting because, and we're talking about what's something called terahertz gap. I mentioned this on other calls, but what we talk about is what's called a terahertz gap, because terahertz is a wide range of frequencies that drifts into the microwave range and drifts into infrared, whatever. But the terahertz gap is the sweet spot that we're really talking about, that our products produce, both the wand and the P90 and P90 Plus. And the terahertz gap frequencies have been known for decades. Again, interestingly, by NASA, they discovered this, and they discovered that terahertz would go through human bodies. It's non-ionizing, but without harming humans. And again, but they never talked about, surprisingly, that when terahertz goes into the body, it starts empowering the body to self-heal. Surprising they didn't bring that up. So about 4.5 years ago, this company Prife brought out really the first handheld wand that could do this to water. Now, structuring the water with Prife is big. It's like huge. Everybody, tens of thousands of Prife users, they know to wand their water and energize it and restructure it because they've had so many experiences with it. No contraindications. You got anybody that's got a pacemaker? Wand the water, have them drink it. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of distributors and people, customers, that's all they drank was energized, terahertz energized water, and had amazing results just from drinking that energized water. This water spreads throughout your system amazingly quickly. I had done a test with my wife, had her stand there. I tested her using some equipment I got from India that can test energy and scalar energy and all this kind of stuff. And her aura was about a foot or two from her body. I could see it from using the equipment. I just energized a glass of water. She drank it. I retested her. Her energy field had expanded to about 12 feet just from drinking the water. Okay. So what does Olilife say about this? Well, they are very fond of this concept. There's a whole write-up on this energy device that you showed, Doug, there, and talking about what it's doing, and that it supports detoxification, nutrient absorption. So what the big thing about this is that it restructures the molecules into a linear fashion. Ordinarily, they're all kind of jumbled up. And when you drink the water, it's not that easy for the nutrients or whatever to get into your cells. But in a linear fashion, it's super hydrating. And that alone is fantastic, especially when we talk about you want to drink water before and after using all the different Olilite products. Okay. Ideally, you really want to drink you want to drink vitalized water before and after, because it's going to get into your cells way faster and help. It's going to help energize your body. It's going to help detoxify your body, and it's going to help you keep hydrated, because all of the Olilite devices create internal heat, and it's dehydrating, and you want to keep that up, and you want to keep the heating process going inside your body, because it's very, very therapeutic. So you want to get that straight chain structure going, and that happens in nature from streams and fast running water hitting rocks or whatever. It tends to structure that. This is a way to do this manually, and all those different things, water, juice, all that stuff. It doesn't matter if it's hot or cold. Okay. And I told you how long it might last. The carbonation is a no-no with this. So you don't want to be trying to energize carbonated drinks and do alcoholic beverages. Now, how do you do it? It's somewhat controversial. There are people that wand from above, okay? Being careful not to splash. I've had very much adventure with that, with water and coffee all over my desk. And learn what that is, right? I don't do that way. I do it from the side through glass. So 4.5 years I've been wanding through the side. And you want to, if you're going to do this, you want to wand through glass, not through plastic, because that potentially could leach into your water. And there are a few people that say, no, do it from the top, because you don't want to leach any lead in the glass, okay? So you want to avoid any fancy leaded glass, perhaps even wine glasses. Try to avoid drinking from anything that's painted and so forth. But most glassware is minuscule, the potential of that. Now, why don't I wand above and avoid anything there? First of all, it's dangerous. I mean, it's very tricky to get this going and not have this fall and break or splash your water. But more importantly is, have you ever seen what's in our air floating there? Have you ever looked in the sunlight and seen all the stuff that's floating in the air? Okay, especially if you have pets and there's skin, there's all that stuff. I don't want to be blowing that into my water. Okay, that's me. Some people say that's the direct frequency path to get the water. I haven't seen that. And I've done that for 4.5 years, and I've seen tens of thousands of people drink. And you get the same molecular path. It goes right through the glass and energizes the water. Storing, preferably in glass. Storing in plastic could actually disrupt the structuring. Most people don't know that. But do some research on that. And if you're questioning what's in the air, go to ChatGPT and say, what is in the air that I'm breathing? And it's very disturbing. And again, I don't want to be blowing into my water. It's no problem putting it there on the side. Now you can lay this on a counter, on a book. I've got this device. It's a microphone stand from Amazon. Cost me $20, whatever. This fits perfectly on the counter and to do my water. But your oscillating stand can work for that also, right? And I bought this before I got an oscillating stand. So now I still use it on my desk, but the outside stand is fantastic for doing something like this. Okay, let me make sure I'm covering some of this information. Again, there's products out there that's all they do is structure the water. There's one that's actually a multi-level marketing company. All they do is sell something very similar to the Olilac product, and has a thing that sits on top. It makes terahertz water, $2,500. That's what they charge for that, right? And so there's one on Amazon, $600. I mean, right? This makes the water. Now, what's interesting about this, though, is the terahertz will make the energized, not the energized, but the structured water in linear fashion. But I started thinking about that, but there's also PEMF that's going in there. And what's interesting about that is, as I mentioned earlier, water will hold vibrational frequency information. So it's holding terahertz information that energizes it and goes all through your body. But it's also getting the PEMF that's going in there and storing in there. Not pulsing. It doesn't go into the water and it keeps pulsing. All right. Going in, it's pulsing because of that's the way it's produced out of the wand. When it gets in there, it's really EMF, electron. But what is the frequencies that are really going in there out of the wand? It's grounding frequencies. Okay. Because all of the products, all of that we talk about, the frequencies, they're all about this grounding thing, balancing with the energy, whatever. So how fantastic is that also? What you're energizing your water with is these wonderful balancing frequencies, and you're drinking that. Ricky and Brandino and I, my close friend, years ago when we first got into these wands and energy and whatever, we discovered that if you took a glass of water, just wander for about a minute, and it's energized, okay, something like that size. And I experimented, and I took a big gallon jug, and I took that energized water, and I poured it into the gallon jug, and instantly the whole gallon jug was energized. I think, wow, that's amazing. No wonder when my wife drank it, boom, the water in her body, 70–80% of world water, boom, it just, that energy goes all your body. When you're sitting there with your feet on the P90 Plus, you're also energizing your feet with terahertz and PEMF. So we talk about blood circulation, we talk about going through your body, we have all the different tests, whatever. But that is part of the reason why we have the amazing results, is because it's structuring the water in your body and goes through your whole body and does all the wonderful things it does. Same thing when you're wanding yourself, okay? You're affecting that. But you drink that water and boom, it goes through your whole body. Pets, if you got pets, you got to be feeding the energized, vitalized water. They just love it. And okay, no contraindications, no carbonation. Okay, let me talk. How am I doing on time, Doug?
I ate into your time a little bit there. We have 20 minutes that we typically do, but if you want to take 25, 30.
All right. Yeah, because I got to touch.
Yeah.
I got to touch on spritzing.
Just yeah.
All right. This is very big. What is spritzing? All right. So get yourself a little glass spray bottle. You could do this with plastic, but it's better with glass, but you could do it with plastic. And why? Because you could fill this up with water and just want it about 15 seconds, and this thing is vitalized, that water that's in there. So why do you want to do that? I'm going to talk about anti-aging and doing your face in a moment. Fantastic for anything to do with your skin. Okay. And I've heard and watched many doctors of all sorts talk about this over the years, of how fantastic this is to use on anything on your skin. Okay. I've done this sunburn. Okay. And that you wanted myself for about a minute. What's really nice about this is we have the cool setting. So if you use sunburn, you don't necessarily want to do the heat on there, but the cool setting puts out the same terahertz and PEMF. But the spritzing just enhances whatever you're trying to affect on the skin or whatever. It goes right in there, and this does. I'm just saying, sunburn, half an hour later, boom, it was gone. It was almost gone. Okay. Scratches, insect bites. Who likes those? Right. But Benny's doctors were talking about using it for all sorts of different purposes, scratches and abrasions and bruises, right? Cosmetic anti-aging. There's a whole groups and groups and groups of people that use the energized water, just the terahertz, but this is even better with the PMF and the terahertz for cosmetic purposes. Okay, so not just using the my wife's. See, I don't have my frost age here because my wife stole it, but you know, many women were learning how fantastic the frost age is, right? And you put your gel on there and you're doing it. And we have all sorts of charts on how to do this, right? But you can do the same thing with this. And what you do is you energize that, vitalize that water and spray it in the direction you want to use, and then use your wand. Okay. And that in conjunction with your frost age is phenomenal. So anybody who's really getting into the frost age, and there are many groups that are starting to really do that and are about to offer challenges and groups and whatever. But you don't realize how amazing this is for anti-aging purposes, using spritzing with that, you know, vitalized water, and then wanding in certain, you know, the directions that you would want to do. Okay.
Hey, John, I know you've covered a lot there, and maybe versus waiting to the end, since it might be fresh in everyone's mind, a few questions did come up. So people were asking about the type of water, like even tap water. Ideally, you could, but if we can, you can energize the water and get a lot of the effects that you're saying. It's not going to filter the water. Is that accurate? Yeah.
That's right.
So then also folks were asking about, where everyone's aware and excited about the Arctic spring water system that's coming out later this year, early next year. We'll wait and see. We're aware that there's a hydrogen component to that, mineralization component to that, filtration component to that. I don't believe we saw anything about energizing in at least the specs that were provided to us. And I don't want to sit here and speak to what it does or does not have, but do you recall seeing anything along that line as well?
I haven't. And I don't know if it's using PMF or terahertz or anything else. It's fantastic what it's going to do.
Right.
If it doesn't structure the water in like the way we're talking about, then you would want to wand that water. And it's not a big laborious thing. Boom, minute, you're done. You know. And often you can do that and have a whole gallon jug for that will last you the whole day, right? And so I don't know. I haven't seen that. It looks like the technology that's in there is fantastic, but if it doesn't structure the water, it might do something called microclustering, which it makes it. But if it doesn't do the structuring, like we're saying, or informing and embedding the frequencies into the water itself, then you want to consider doing this. I know somebody asked about metal. Yeah, it won't penetrate metal, but I've done it often where I'll take water, energize it, put it in stainless steel, preferably not plastic. Again, because what I've read is that could actually affect the structuring.
I did see in the comments, someone did mention that they recall seeing the MRET technology in the new water system coming out. So that would be the magnetized component of it. So to be determined, we'll get all that clarification. We're still excited for that. But what we have available to us right now is the use of the Vitality Wand in the ways that you've covered so far. You mentioned fabric and clothing too. Someone asked if you can elaborate just those benefits. Before you do that, though, you were showing the Revitalux attachment for the P90 Plus. That doesn't have an structuring component to it itself.
No, it's not. It does produce PMF and red light and all that, but I've tested it, and it's not strong enough to do what we're talking about in terms of the water. It's still phenomenal, attachment, what it does, but in terms of the restructuring and imprinting of the water, the wand is what you want to use for that.
And because you and I had a chance to speak there, so we have a lot of questions about, I think folks have large containers, can they energize that? So stainless steel, it's not going to go through, correct? Versus we want to come.
If you could store it in there, but yeah, you wouldn't want to try to
Correct.
go through
Yep.
there.
And then people are asking about ceramic, things like that. So that's where you want to be careful about, wanding from above and splash control and so on there. So I think getting creative with how do you energize the water? You don't need to energize that much water if you're going to then add it to something else. But if it's a different beverage where you won't be adding water to, like the coffees, adult beverages, juices, and so on, soups, that be cognizant on the container that it's already in when you energize it, and then get it into the consumable.
Yeah, somebody just asked about the energy plates P90. I actually thought about, could you put your glass on the energy plate while you have your feet on there, and
because you have to close the connection, right? So you have to have both.
That
I think you're asking for trouble.
That's tricky because if you spill, that could be a problem.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, you get a drop of sweat on there.
Even though there's advanced waterproofing in the P90 and P90 Plus, especially P90 Plus, but it's very much indicated warning to keep water away from it or whatever. And so I may still experiment with that, but boy, I wouldn't just in general recommend somebody put a glass of water on it while you have your feet on it. It's fraught with danger.
So we have Vitality water, then someone added, and I apologize who popped up there, grounded Vitality water. So I love that when you add the PEMF component to that as well. So we have all kinds of new takeaways here. And the how-tos, thank you for covering the different ways that we can energize the water. Someone just mentioned about adding some energized water to their washing cycle for washing clothes and so on. Can you elaborate, John, a little bit? Oh, go ahead. Yeah. And then how you tested the energy. If you would talk to that a little bit more too. Yeah,
okay.
Go ahead.
Spritzing works great on plants too. I would put the water in the plant, and then, if some people like to spritz, that. But I've just seen before and after pictures. Here's before, and then they were watering with the PMF water or terahertz water. They didn't have PMF water, just terahertz water.
Yeah.
And then like a week later, it was like, it was really flourishing. Would make sense though in what we're talking about, because these are live things out there, and you could literally, you could just start thinking about the possibilities in terms of the clothing. I'm the only one in all of Prife and here today, and only that's talking about the clothing. All right, but all right. So you asked me, how do I test that? And I don't know that I have.
While you're looking for that, I recall, for those of you who didn't have an opportunity to go to Anaheim, I see Ricky's on the call there. Ricky was able to show the magnitude and power of the Vitality wand by doing the wand through someone from the back forward.
Yeah, and that. That's right. We see that he was showing the power of that in terms of affecting someone's what they call chakras. Right through there, and was energized. That's a whole nother call. Ricky has to do that together when we talk about meridians and chakras and energize. I mean, it's like what you could do with that. Believe me, that's like
called Vitality in general.
Yeah, Ricky's got a fantastic background in acupuncture, and we could do a fantastic call on that. But Ricky knows about these too. These are equipment I got from India, and then of course Ricky had to get his own, of course, and but they're very interesting in that they're very loose. You can see that, right? And if you put this over a glass of water, nothing will happen. They're just like nothing. But if there's over some product that has energy that's coming out of it, like the water, so you would do this over a glass of water, and they would be loosey-goosey. Nothing would happen, right? Like that.
Yep, we got you.
We energize the water, and we do this, and boom, they go out like this. And it's eerie because you feel it. You put up, and they go like that. And I learned that from Prife, and then I got my own equipment. And it's not easy to learn how to use these because there's 50 videos on YouTube, and they're all in Hindi and Indian. They're all Indian masters that are teaching how to use this, right? But Ricky and I found an American who's an expert with it, and we learned how to use it. So we were testing this, and so like I said, as soon as I got my wand, I set my water up, tested it, no energy, and then when I put the water in, boom, it was showing the energy, and I was very delighted to learn that.
And
yeah.
that glass of water, John, how if we just start with the glass of water, I mean, day in, day out, can you do a jug and so on? But if you're just going to energize a glass of water, how long are you recommending there? I know the spritz bottle was quick, but just the glass that you're holding up, how long would you typically?
A minute.
Yeah.
But even 30 seconds, I've tested with that. So I'm saying, be conservative, say a minute, and boom. Now, but I will. I'm in front of my desk all day long, so I will have a whole big gallon jug thing, right?
Yeah.
I just want that even for a minute, boom, the whole thing, and that lasts me all day long, right? Rather than have to go do that. Now, what's interesting also is, let's say you did your water and you filled up your thermos, right? And you went to work, you went on a picnic, you went to work, whatever, okay? And your water's getting down a little bit, right? So you put more regular spring water, whatever, in there, and it's all energized again from the starter that's in there. Right. And I've tested that. It's amazing.
Yeah. So don't empty it. Yeah. Before all the active lifestyle folks, right? I play a lot of pickleball, people before workout, yoga, Pilates, running, whatever it might be.
Okay. So let me bring up that. When I first started drinking this water 4.5 years ago, a couple days later, I was thinking, this water tastes different. This is like smooth. It tastes different. That afternoon, my wife comes in my office and she goes, I've been drinking that water. It tastes different. It tastes smooth. And I thought, wow, that was interesting that she had that same experience. And when you do research on structured water and whatever, almost all of them, including Holy Life, talk about that's one of the things. It'll taste sweeter, smoother, and whatever. And it's viscous. So it actually helps your circulation, your body, and just do some research on that, and you're going to see that the amazing things. Now, which actually brings up something. You want to be careful what you say to people about these things from a compliance standpoint. And I wrote this down because this is important.
You talked about an energized glass of water going into a larger container. Someone
asked. Yeah, but I'm talking about what to say from a compliance standpoint. Because you don't want to necessarily even, where is it? Important. Okay. So and this was a ChatGPT kind of thing, right? And it was saying, avoid stating or implying that the water is structured. So everybody that's on this call, I know you're all about to run down and go, oh, our thing structures water, whatever. But you want to be careful how you say this, okay? It says, avoid stating or implying that the water is structured in a way that delivers proven medical or therapeutic benefits, okay? So don't go out and say, this will structure water and you're going to be healed, or it's going to cure your diabetes. Now, once everybody starts doing this, we're going to see amazing testimonies coming from this. Mm-hmm. People are going to be right in. They go, I've been drinking that water. Oh my God, this and that, whatever, right? But be careful what you say, though. That implies that you're guaranteeing that. And so I said, what's a good compliant way to say this? And you might say, you can experience water processed with Holy Life's innovative terahertz and PMF technology designed to provide a unique hydration experience. And what's on the website, Frequency Awakening, again, it says hydration and structured water, but it talks about enhancing connectivity and absorption. But so just don't, be very careful about going out and say,
Linking it to what it's going to address. Yep.
our structured water will do this, okay? Because you get in trouble with the FDA for that, because they're going to go, all right, oh yeah, where's your studies on that, whatever, right?
So Vitality Wand can structure the water. What structured water does for the body, that's where the caution is.
And again, just like we do, if people are wondering
Yeah.
about this, say, go look up a ChatGPT. What could structured water do for you? All right. And you're going to get all these things, just like we do with everything else that we present about the products.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So, John, let me ask you a question. We have a few panelists, Dr. Lynn, Kasia, Rosanna. We can certainly welcome them to come off mute. They may have some questions as well. We've been trying to answer the questions as we go along. Clearly, there are some fellow team members. I want to thank everyone in the chat who's helping to answer the questions that are coming up. So, Mikhail, I think it was Lee. Thank you for that. Yeah, Lee, Wendy. Yeah, thank you for that. Dr. Lynn, Kasia, Rosanna, do you have, and John, before we do open it up there, I know you prepared a lot. This can go on for part one, part two, right? Any other key points for today that you want to address? Obviously, if we step back for a moment, Vitality Wand, how it structures water, and as well as other liquids. We talked about the health.
Two things
Please.
real quick.
Yeah.
People are asking how far, whatever,
Thank
so as
you.
close as possible, and preferably in the cool setting. There's no, you don't need to heat up the water. And with these, you got the cool setting, so they just set it there, and it's not going to break the glass or anything. So just there, it's fine. And then some of you are all familiar with this scientist, Dr. Masaru Emoto, did all these tests with water, how water is affected by our thoughts and our feelings and things we're saying and all that. And then and then he did that, and then he showed how the water crystallizes, these beautiful crystals. And when people were negative and they were saying negative things and thinking negative things, the crystallization was ugly and distorted, whatever. The placebo effect proves that our minds, our intent can affect our bodies. Okay. And so the thing I'm throwing out there is your body's listening. Every cell in your body is listening to you, your self-talk, and especially the things you say outwardly. That has a power. And when I wand my water, I say out affirmations. Okay. I am the funniest guy in all of life. I say it every day. Right. And it doesn't seem to be working so far, so I guess I better drink some more water. But no, it's just powerful, because when you're using the Oly Life devices, all of them, you're increasing your frequencies in your body, and your body gets it. Even if you're using the Galaxy goggles, all your other cells are going, oh, I want some of that. Raise me up, raise me up. All your cells always want to be optimized. They want to be holistic. They want to be right. Most they can be. And they're all interconnected, and everything in your body is interconnected. So, but all your cells are listening to you. So when you're wanding your water, if you got your time, stand there at your kitchen or whatever you're doing, and be saying the affirmation that you want your cells to be listening to. That's it.
John, thank you so much. Rosanna, I see you open up your microphone. How are you? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Hi, John, and thank you so much. It's just incredible. Every call, there's always something to learn, and that's why these calls are so important, because even I learn, after doing this for so many years, but there's always something more. So thank you. I loved what I learned today was about the natural fiber. I didn't know that. How incredible. And, what you just said now about all our cells are listening. I mean, our bodies are 80% water. So it is everything. We are all water. We're all frequency. And if we can support that, that's incredible. So just how important it is to be on these calls and, learn something every day. But I have a question, and this is from one of my team members, and that she has a Prife and she also has the OliLife wand, which she loves. But she's noticed a difference between wanding her water with the Prife device, which just is the terahertz, and wanding her water with the PMF, with the OliLife PMF and terahertz. She's noticed a difference in the taste of the structured water. Would you know why that is, or what the mechanism behind that is?
No, because I haven't, to me, it's the same
All right.
from a
You've-
taste. I'm not just saying that. I mean, if I was wondering about that myself. If
Mm.
there's a difference for her, like all of these things affecting us, and our taste buds, our hearing, all these things can be heightened or not, or changing
Mhm.
by using these devices. And so that could be interesting, whether or not our device specifically changes that. I never heard that, but I could see, it could.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Doug, I absolutely love the practitioner video. I already sent it out to 10 plus people. So well done. That's just awesome.
Yeah, that was, John shared that when we're in Anaheim, Ollie Nation providing tools for us. So thank you so much there.
Yeah,
Dr. Lynn, I
thanks.
see you opened up your camera there as well. Oh, Rosanna, did I cut you off? I'm sorry. Did you have something
No,
else?
no, all good.
Okay.
All good. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you so much. Dr. Lynn, how are you? You want to come on unmute?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for inviting me on. And this is my first time joining this group, and it was absolutely something that I crave for. So thank you, Sean, for sharing the knowledge, and Doug and Luigi for making this available. I am, one of the biggest things that I've noticed, I haven't dug too deeply into the Vitality Wand, but using the PEMF device in my office, first experience is noticing, and I generally, this is for practitioners. If you integrate it, the PEMF, the P90 Plus is really great integration after you do a treatment with patients. And utilizing that, I've been actually, at the very least, just using the conductivity pen. So, and it'd be wonderful if you're like, even at home, if you were to do a yoga practice beforehand or some sort of mindfulness, and then checking your own conductivity to see where it lights up. I notice that there's more connection through the whole being after a patient works with me, and then they do an integration. So it's very grounding. So it's very integrative. So I would imagine just with the Vitality Wand, having them even drink the water before they jump onto the devices. So it's giving me a ton of ideas. So thank you, John, for that. I am curious if you've ever actually measured heart rate variability or any vitals in a way that helps to track someone's progression over time as you're working with someone. That is just something that I'm personally interested in seeing. I know that there's the live blood, but obviously I don't have that technology to measure live blood over time. So just curious, John, if you've seen something like that, or I even had an idea of like, what if you measure the pH over time of someone's saliva, or even possibly collecting urine and being able to measure that. Just coming from that side of being able to see how that changes, especially since those are fluids as well too. Have you seen anything like that? I'm just curious.
This reminds me of so often, even my marriage, when I bring up some ideas like that, my wife will go, "Well, go do it." And so we're all excited to see Dr. Lynn bring us some more information about that, because this is such an evolving frequency awakening that we're all going through, right? And so we don't have all the answers yet, but we know we're on the right track with the right company, with the right products. And so, no, I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see more blood tests and whatever.
Well, what we can also do, John, if you don't mind me jumping in, is there research, or does chat or anything show that drinking, we'll just say, structured water, can that have an effect on the pH? And some of the items Dr. Lynn brought, we don't have to say it doesn't necessarily have to be linked to the Vitality Wand, but if structured water does that, and then I didn't do the research going into this call, we can all do that. Right. Then if we know the Vitality Wand structures water and structured water does this, that's what we can maybe work backwards into that. Again, being cautious on what we're going to claim if we're having conversations with friends, family, practitioners there. And Dr. Lynn, if you don't mind, I'll follow up with you too. I'd love to chat with you.
Yeah, that's great.
Definitely. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, we are sensitive to time. Cassia, you have let's go there and
Real
then
quick. So of
yeah.
course I love the call. I'm not gonna be beating that horse because that horse is alive and beautiful.
Mhm.
So two questions. So I love the fact that your friends with the heart specific heart devices are using vitalized water and experiencing perhaps a great benefit from drinking it. And but I feel like more people might be wanting to know if there are any of other follow-ups with those our devices for those people if they are using them, how they are using them, without naming the name of the hard device. And of course I don't want you to be stepping into any of the big market competition space. And I have one more question, and I feel like I might be the only one who will be asking this because I'm Polish, so I am brave enough to ask. So many people are also amazed by what we are witnessing here. And I'm wondering with the spritz water, if any of that might be also enhancing an intimate wellness of the couples. Already people know that I'm appointed to cancer of the marriage, which is the snoring thing. But there's a lot of also people struggling in the intimate space. Any of the people giving you feedbacks in that space. I know this subject is maybe not touched by, not spoken a lot, but it is important to so many of us. I would appreciate the feedback on that as well. And I'm sure many of us as well. Thank you.
Well, Doug, if we schedule a libido call, that's going to be sold out. So
Let's do it. And it won't just be structured
No,
water based on a
no,
conversation.
and there's nothing to be embarrassed about. These types of things are important. The energies and all that stuff, and the kind of products we have definitely can support those areas. We don't have time right now to talk about that specifically, but like I said, we need calls in those areas, where we're talking about things and as adults, and we're talking about how things can affect us and empower our bodies to self-heal and be everything we can be. Yeah.
Remember you mentioned even the Skyline pads and other uses for that aside from.
Wow, that's a whole.
What did I just open up there?
That's like a whole nother call. I'm researching that right now because I've talked to men that have been using those Skyline patches, the pads, and have extraordinary experiences with them. So it's not just for women. And I started researching what's in the pads. I'm thinking, wow, I need to research this and get some and experiment with that. Again, we don't have time right now. We're just talking about structured water. But yes, there's many calls in the future coming up that we can talk about the wow factors of these Olive products, because we are all of our products are number one in the world. They all have when you have a patent, that means you're number one in the world with something. We have 1,000 patents or more. That means we're number one in the world in 1,000 different things. Okay, this wand makes all other wands in the world obsolete. This is, and now we just learned about the structured water, and but there's many more things for us to learn, and so that's why it's great to start having more and more of these types of calls.
Well, I recognize there are a few more questions that most likely have gone unanswered, and this is why we have these calls. So we do our best during these calls, but we also want to contain them within bite-sized ways of consuming the information there. So, John, do you have any closing remarks before we wrap today's call up? And if not,
make sure you get your. If you haven't seen the videos on this yet, the Spangler Energy Stick for Amazon, right? And it proves that we're a human battery, because you put your hands there and here, there, and I'm the one powering that, right?
Right.
But you also, you could use this to show that all the I know we were talking about that I'd love to have a call talking about all the different kinds of devices that we have to test this stuff. We've run out of time here right now because the water is so exciting. And I'm so glad that I was able to have this call, because it forced me to do more research on this, and I realized I'm not drinking enough of this vitalized water. I forgot. We just forget sometimes the tools we have and how amazing they are. So yeah, definitely vitalize yourself. Like that word? I like it.
Vitality water, grounded
That's right.
vitality. I love it. I love it.
Right.
All right. Hey, John, so you have your background in product education, and we've mentioned that before, but no matter your background and experience, you still invested the time that you did to prepare for today's call. So thank you so much for that. I know we can't get enough of that, but it's also a good amount of work. So we'll for our audience, we're going to try to get as much John as we can, but at the same time, we need to understand that it did take some work there too, on top of his experience. So John, thank you so much. I also want to thank everyone for attending today. The recording will be available ASAP. We always get those posted in the various channels there. So thank you, everyone. Have a good rest of the morning, evening, and afternoon. Take care now. Bye-bye.